dropping 70 down. And he'll have to go against a Denver team that is playing very good. They are 20-16. Rafe LaFrance with Antonio McDyess and Sam Posey on the front line. James Posey, rather. And Nick Van Exel. And the veteran who you saw a lot there with Leonard. But Dan Issel, you know, Jerry, it was just a few weeks ago where mutiny may be too strong of a word and the media may have blown things out of proportion. But ever since that point in time, Denver has been a different ball club.
They really have. I think it's one of those things that maybe turned out to bring this club closer together. And I think between the team and Dan Issel, they found some common ground. And clearly the record shows that it's worked.
Well, Sacramento has won 14 of the last 19. Last season they split the 4 games. So again, it's Williams and Christie with Divac, Stojakovic, and Weber. A back-to-back for Sacramento tonight. Denver tomorrow night. Houston. And here's the matchup we featured in the open, and the pass goes to Divac. He stumbles, and now the Kings with 10 on the shot clock. And there was a travel on Sacramento, so they turn it over.
Well, certainly not the kind of start that you want. Rick Adelman, that's what you always want to do is at least get a good shot at the basket. Kings not able to in that possession. It's going to be interesting, certainly the matchup, Nick Van Exel against Jason Williams and Antonio McDyess. Of course, against Chris Webber, you see Antonio McDyess. One of the things he does so well is shoot that turnaround jump shot, much like an Elvin Hayes of the past. Uses the board very well, and he's 6'10", gets up.
And the Kings answer right back, and we are tied at 2.
That's good to see Vlade get off early. Certainly should be a good matchup for Vlade Divac against Rafe LaFrance. Rafe is really more of a power forward and likes to play out on the floor. Vlade should be too big for him and go inside.
Well, and you see Denver hitting their first 2 shots, and they have the 4-2 lead.
Yeah, you see one of the strengths of the Nuggets. Both McDyess and Rafe LaFrance, big guys, but more comfortable shooting the ball on the perimeter.
Nice pass to Peja and a pretty little flip with the back to the basket. Very nicely done by Peja Stojakovic. And this is a 3, and LaFrance hits.
Well, that's why you've really got to get to Rafe LaFrance. Like I say, even though he's called the Nuggets center, he's more comfortable playing out on the floor, has even some small forward skills, much like Peja Stojakovic in that regard.
And Christie was fouled. He'll go to the line on a beautiful setup by Vlade Divac.
Watch this pass from Chris Webber. Sees Peja Stojakovic, just nice little bounce pass away from the defender, and Peja just a pretty little touch up off the glass.
Jerry, it's going to be real close in the West to see who goes to the All-Star game at the power forward position, and it's not too late. Visit Kings.com and help send Chris, Peja, Vlade, Jason to DC, but in particular Chris, because it's so close with Tim Duncan and Garnett. Your vote does indeed make a difference, and voting ends this Sunday, so go online and vote today. Send Chris Webber to the All-Star game as a starter.
Well, he certainly deserves it, and of course the West is just full of so many talented young power forwards.
And it's Divac, and the Kings looking to take their first lead of the contest. Christie from downtown, and it's to James Posey.
Well, both these teams like to run. They like to play out of transition. Kings probably over the long haul of the season have been a little better at it.
Well, that's an air ball that just happened to end up in the hands of Posey. Those were tough to defend because you think the ball's going to hit the rim and you position yourself for the board. And Posey with an easy basket to make it 9-6. Williams, good look, but it would not fall from the baseline.
Well, good look and pass from Vlade Divac. Found Jay Will for the 10-footer. Just no reward.
McDyess averaging nearly 31 points a contest the last 7 games. Leonard and the Nuggets, Jerry, have come out red hot. The Denver Nuggets shooting the ball at a very impressive clip at 83%, and they lead by 6.
And mostly from the perimeter, but then this is what this team does. All the guys that start and play a lot of minutes are good outside shooters.
And Divac has his way against Rafe LaFrance.
Well, that's a good move by the Kings. It is a mismatch in there. Kings have the advantage. You've got to take advantage of it. Get the ball to Vlade.
Well, the number is Sacramento 3 of 5, but Denver 5 of 6, including 2 long balls. 8:50 left here in the opening quarter. Now LaFrance, and he's got it going here in the early going. He has hit all 3 of his shots. He's got 7, and the Denver Nuggets lead by 6.
Well, LaFrentz has that 6'11" for frame, and boy, he can just extend up over guys. Chris Webber trying to establish his outside shot, not able to get it to go.
That's just not a good shot, though, Jerry. He has not made a three all year, and Van Exel misses, and the Kings come back in transition. Now it's Stojakovic against Posey. Peja Stojakovic with a nice turnaround from the baseline. He's got 4 points.
Well, Peja showed you that little step away that he's developed, even against a good defender, which James Posey clearly is, able to create space on that step away.
Well, you see the passing that set up Deshaun Leonard for the basket.
Well, Deshaun Leonard, very good moving without the basketball. Played for years in Miami under Pat Riley, and you have to be good without the ball.
Webber from the elbow.
And there's a guy that's very good with the basketball. Chris Webber getting that outside shot to drop.
Well, this figures to be a high-scoring game when you look at those numbers. The Kings second in the NBA. Denver just below that, fifth in the NBA. And if the first 5 minutes plus is any indication, we will see triple digits on the scoreboard when this is all said and done. Well, that was very good defense by Vlade Divac on Antonio McDyess.
Sure was. Antonio McDyess gave Vlade a good head fake. Vlade didn't take it.
4-point game. Denver with the lead. Now a mismatch. Van Exel trying to defend Peja. You see the double team. Chris had a good look, but it would not fall. And the Nuggets with the basketball leading by 4. Another 3 attempt. And nobody underneath for Denver to rebound.
Well, that's what Denver does. They spread themselves out and get away from the board.
Nice move by Webber. LaFrentz with the hand check foul. That's the first foul on Ray LaFrentz.
Well, LaFrentz that time it seemed Chris Webber settled for the outside shot, and I think Chris wanted to establish he's got a lot more than that. Got Rafe off his feet.
Yeah, well, Rafe in his 3rd year had a bad start to his campaign. He was on his way to perhaps Rookie of the Year honors when he suffered a season-ending injury. But he's talented, and here he is again. I'll tell you, Rafe LaFrentz with the left hand. He's been the story here in the first quarter. He has 9 points, and we have 6.5 left. Christie still struggling with his shot.
Well, it's had wide open looks, but just nothing so far. And of course, the Nuggets seem like they're scoring every trip.
Christie's shooting only 36% for the season. And they're going to call a jump ball with the Nuggets leading by 6. 6:20 left. Dan Issel thought the ball should have been Denver's, but they say no. And that will be a center circle jump. Divac, and it looks like McDyess.
Well, even though Vlade a little taller, McDyess stands to get this tip. One of the big jumpers in the league.
And I'm not sure what the call was. No, they said it was a violation on the jump. It would not matter. It was Denver's ball anyway. One thing about Sacramento, and I talked about it with Rick Donovan during the pregame, is that the Kings offensively on that homestand inconsistent. Chris Webber, he's shooting 43% the last 10. Doug Christie has really been struggling with his shot. And tonight, as you see, LaFrentz, he's not struggling with his shot, although he misfires there. Chris is only 1 of 4, and Doug Christie has missed his first 2 shots.
Yeah, Kings have really been winning at home with their defense, and you have to even give the Kings crowd a lot of credit there. So It's going to be interesting to see how the Kings react on the road, because you don't have that great crowd spurring you on. You've got to come up with that momentum on your own.
Christie off the heel of the iron. No, he's 0 of 3. And the Nuggets in transition. And the Nuggets now all of a sudden have gone cold, and the Kings, though, can't capitalize. They're still down 6.
Well, you know, the old saying, live by the jump shot, die by the jump shot, and there's a fabulous drive. Jason Williams really just not hesitating, going right at the basket.
But in transition, Jerry, the Kings get beat. After a made basket, Rafe LaFrentz beats him down the floor. 11 points for LaFrentz.
That's one of those things you see the big guy going down, and you have a tendency to blame somebody on the Kings, but big guy. But it should be a guard rotating back. Jason Williams penetrated. Doug Christie really should have rotated back.
Well, and a turnover as Chris Webber walked with the basketball. So a good start for Denver. They lead by 6. And when we come back, there will be Nuggets basketball on Fox Sports Net. (20-14) Denver here in the first quarter. We check in now with Jim Kozimor.
the playoffs were to start this evening, the Denver Nuggets would be the 8th seed in the Western Conference, and they'd probably be able to look back to December the 11th, what is known as the Denver Uprising, or possibly the mutiny in the parking lot. The Denver Nuggets came off a long Eastern swing. They were losing and playing poorly. Coach Dan Issel called for a practice, and the team came to the parking lot, and then they circled each other around saying, we won't go in, we need the day off. But look what has happened since that very day. They went from under 500 to 10-3 since then, offensively playing much better. But the key to the entire situation was the fallout after the uprising. That is the team coming out together and really rallying beyond their coach. You know, they said Dan Issel was right. He called a practice. We were players. We have to do what the coach says. We did it wrong, and now it's time for us to play ball. Guys, back to you.
All right, you see Rafe LaFrentz, look at that, 5 of 6. He's got 11 points, and it's 20-14. It's Van Exel, Leonard, LaFrentz, Posey, and McDyess. Denver coming off a loss to the Clippers. They had won 8 of 10 before that defeat in Los Angeles, but it was a tough back-to-back. And McDyess not able to catch, and it will go to Sacramento. The Denver Nuggets had been in Vancouver the night before, and that's one of the more difficult trips because you have to first clear customs, and then you have to make the long, near 2 hours and 45-minute flight to Los Angeles. And then it's another 20 minutes to the airport, to the hotel, and Webber hits the jump hook. And that's where you love to see Chris Webber get that little jump hook, Jared.
Well, when he gets on that block and uses that hook, he's as unstoppable as any player in the league. Just simply, just has great hands there and soft touch.
Now the offensive rebound. Leonard, the setup for LaFrentz, and he could not jam it home. And the Kings look to come back, but Posey is back on defense. Stojakovic with a 3. Good look by Patient. It rims out. Rebound LaFrentz.
Well, as you see, both teams not only like to push the ball up, but they will shoot the ball in transition.
Well, what a nice job of Jason Williams there, Jerry, to stop Nick Van Exel, who had a full head of steam and tried to make the move, and Jason cut him right off.
Yeah, Jay Will is staying down better on defense, getting a better center of gravity. But of course, right now, Nick Van Exel isn't the main problem. It's Rafe LaFrentz. And going back to Rafe LaFrentz, he was part of the reason of the so-called mutiny. A lot of the players felt he was being picked on unfairly. And since that time, of course, we've seen the numbers. They've just went up dramatically.
Well, Chris Webber now with 6. He's starting to get it going.
Well, and that's where he's got an advantage on Antonio McDyess, even though McDyess is a little taller, bigger jumper, but can't stop Chris in low.
And now Jason Williams with 3:20 left here in the first quarter. Webber. Yes, so Chris Webber now has made his last 3 shots. And it's a 3-point Denver lead.
And you're seeing really good Kings ball movement the last few possessions, and that's something we've talked about so much. Obviously, this team has the ability to pass the ball and move the ball. When they do, they're very good.
Jerry, if you notice, Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, Peja all bending at the waist on defense. It takes a while to get used to the altitude. Van Exel with the jump hook, no. McDyess misses. Leonard, but it's not uncommon to get a good run for 5-6 minutes and then really feel the effects once you sit down. Normally when you come back in a second time, you're much better acclimated.
Absolutely, yeah. This is very difficult the first time in.
Well, that will take care of your shooting slump, won't it?
Well, I think Doug got his second wind on about that first dribble.
25-22 will have a timeout at the next whistle.
Yeah, when you talk about great jumpers in the league, Doug Christie, you can put him in that group too.
And there's Divac, knocked it away. And the Kings look to break out, but Denver has 2 men back on defense. Now it's Peja with a corner 3. No. That would have tied the game at 25.
Well, that's a good look from Jay Will, because Peja simply just had an open look at a 3, and we know he's about a 50%er when he gets a good look like that.
McDyess. And the Kings now again on the attack. Christie. Oh, what an explosive move by Doug Christie on a perfect setup from Jason Williams.
Well, Doug Christie's doing what any good player should do. When you're struggling from the outside, take it to the basket.
And Denver calls a timeout. A 1-point game. And the Kings shooting the ball much better in the last few minutes. Chris Webber made 3 in a row. We'll be back on Fox Sports Net. Experience the difference at Folsom Automall, the official Automall partner of the Sacramento Kings. And that gets us to tonight's In the Zone, brought to you by AutoZone. The right part, the right price, and good advice. You better believe Portland is in the zone. They've won their last 10, and they just made a statement going to Philadelphia and Charlotte, the two top teams in the East. And they said, you know what? Hey, the power is in the West. And Portland went in there. They beat both those teams badly.
Well, they certainly did. They are in the zone, and nobody else is in right now. But tell you what, Rafe LaFrentz is in a pretty good zone of his own. And watch this. This guy is 6'11". Comfortable shooting the three. Look at that fadeaway, and look, just notice the extension on he gets on his jump shot. Now here's LaFrentz finishing a play around the basket. Takes a pass back out from Van Exel and another long bomb, but he shoots the ball a lot like Peja Stojakovic and has the size almost of Vlade Divac.
And LaFrentz has just gone to the locker room. We don't know what the situation is. We'll try to check it for you as Van Exel hits the 20-foot side pop. And the lead is back to 3. We'll set the lineups for you. It's Jason Williams and Doug Christie, Stojakovic, Pollard, and Weber. Good look by Jason. Nope, off to the right. And Strickland, who just checked in, out there with Van Exel, Robert Pack, and Cloud, and McDyess, the 5th man out there for Denver Nuggets. That was a bad-looking shot.
Well, Denver going with really small guards. Robert Pack, Nick Van Exel, both around 6-footers. So you may see Rick Adelman maybe even adjust at some point and try Bobby Jackson.
Stojakovic, as you see the mismatch, there's no way Pack was going to guard Stojakovic, and he went for the steal, missed it, and Peja with a clear path to the basket. Peja has 6. Weber and Stojakovic combining for 14 here with 4:35 in the first quarter. Van Exel, no. McDyess, yes.
A good second effort, Antonio McDyess.
And there's the block. Mark Strickland able to knock it away from Jason Williams. McLeod short, and the Kings with numbers if they hurry. Weber with the outlet. 4-on-2 the other way. And you hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd here at the Pepsi Center.
And that is Jay Will, the thrill. That was just a beautiful fast break by Jason Williams. Knew that he needed to get the ball to Peja and found the way to do it.
Final seconds of this quarter. Pack, and he beats the horn. So end-to-end first quarter. Both teams putting a lot of points on the scoreboard, and we have played 12 minutes. And it's Denver 31, Sacramento 28 on Fox Sports Net. The Regional Sports Report is on the air tonight and every night at 11. Get a half hour's worth of the day in sports Bay Area style. Join the gang tonight for the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report only on Fox Sports Net. Held 6 rebounds for Jason Williams, 2 points, 3 assists. As we start the second quarter, John Barry and Bobby Jackson will come in along with Stojakovic, Weber, and Pollard. And there's 6 offensive rebounds for the Denver Nuggets so far.
Yeah, the battle of boards right now. Denver's just owning the boards, and that's a big reason they're ahead.
Pack, McDyess, Van Exel, Strickland, and McLeod. And you see the foul called. They got Strickland on the hold.
Dan Issel not too happy about that, although he looks happy right there. I don't believe that is sheer happiness he's showing. Scott Pollard really did a nice job on Antonio McDyess that last possession. I think got maybe a fingertip on that ball. Made it come up short.
McDyess, by the way, just 2 of 8. Jackson. And the Kings are not able to hit their threes. They are 0 of 5 thus far. And a foul called on Scott Pollard. So 3-point shooting for Sacramento, not working at the moment.
And probably have had as good a looks as we've seen. You know, just every one of them have been wide open looks. So they haven't been forced. It's just simply not making them.
Denver now down to a 43% from the floor. Pack, stolen, and out Jackson. Peja, and out of bounds. It will be Denver basketball.
Well, and Peja definitely hasn't got his 3-point stroke.
So it stays 31-28. And that set up beautifully. Antonio McDyess now has 6. Pollard, the trailer. Oh, look at Scott Pollard walk right through the Denver defense.
Well, the defense is absolutely just like the Red Seas were parting there, because he went right straight to the basket, not even a fingertip laid on him.
33-30. Sacramento controlling the paint thus far in the first half. Strickland, and McDyess misses the follow-up attempt. Jackson off the lead from Barry. What a pass by John Barry, goaltending. I mean, he put that right on the money where Bobby Jackson did not have to break stride.
Well, you just can't throw a ball better than that. That is a very difficult pass. You'll see John Barry has to gauge this perfectly. Bobby doesn't have to break strides, gets it up on the glass. That makes sure that it's a goaltending. Just an outstanding play, John Barry and Bobby Jackson.
And look at the Sacramento defense. Offensive foul on Pack. Scott Pollard able to draw the charge, and now the Kings with a chance to take their first lead as Hedo Turkoglu will check in for Sacramento.
Now watch Robert Pack. He just plows into Scott Pollard. Scott Pollard has a clearly established position outside the hash. Robert Pack not happy with that call, but he might as well be happy because it was the right one.
Nuggets with their 5th turnover. Sacramento shooting the ball at 53%, but they're down 1. Looking for their first lead here in Denver. And they'll have to wait another trip. Now it's Posey and a 3-ball. 36-32. The lead is 4. Second quarter action here from Denver. Weber off the window. Nope. A little bit short.
Yeah, that looked like one of those shots Chris wasn't sure what he wanted to do, whether go off the window, go straight. He kind of got it about halfway between.
Posey again. And it rattles out. Another offensive lookout below. Well, Jerry, second chance opportunities.
Well, here again, just very poor rebounding by the Kings, just simply being dominated on the boards. And really, the Nuggets are not a good rebounding team.
No, they're not. Look at that, 8 second chance points for the Denver Nuggets. 38-32. Pollard. Oh, a nice little flip running across the lane for Scott Pollard, his second basket.
Well, we've always talked so much about Scott developing that good left hand in around the basket. Can't forget that he's always had the good right hand.
Divac will check in a moment, more than likely for Chris Weber. And there again, another charge, and it's Scott Pollard getting in position, doing the dirty work, and it will be Sacramento basketball when we come back. 8:31 left, first half, 38-34 Denver. For Denver, before we resume action, let's check in with Jim Kozimor. Coz?
Everyone agrees that the teams in the Western Conference are better than those in the Eastern Conference. In fact, head-to-head, the West has won 120 times already this season. But what about when West teams have to stay in the conference and play West? Let's take a look at who's best, and lo and behold, it's in the capital city where the Kings are playing 76 ball right now. They have played very well against teams in the West, and for that matter, so have the Denver Nuggets. They're at 15-10. Now, with the Kings 13-4 against the West, it's going to be very tough to test because the Kings are on the road 5 of the next 6 ball games, and they take on Western teams in 5 of the next 6. Grant, Jerry, back to you guys.
Yeah, and to embellish that a little bit, as Scott Pollard is coming and drawing 2 charges, the Kings have yet to play at the Lakers, at the Suns, at the Blazers, at the Jazz. But the point is that when they have been matched up against the West, Sacramento, as you saw from Coz, a very impressive 13-4 mark. And you know what? You got to play the schedule that's in front of you, and Sacramento has done a heck of a job playing the schedule. Pollard, no, off the turnaround.
Well, I'm absolutely right. You can only play the games that you're scheduled, and certainly they will play everybody. That's right. That's the way it all works.
LaFrentz, short. Pollard, nice job of boxing out in front of Strickland.
Scott Pollard really has come in and just, as usual, given a lot of energy, both offensively and defensively.
Barry injured his right hand in the victory against Cleveland. He said if the game was yesterday, he would not have been able to play. He said it felt a little bit better, but it's still bothering him. It's his top of his fingers on his shooting hand. LaFren's side pop, no. And it's Bobby Jackson. And the Kings down 4. Start up. Barry will try it again. Well, his hand's not bothering him too much.
Well, it's good to see not only John Barry get going and make the 3, but for the Kings to get on the board in the 3 area. Certainly have been struggling.
Now, you also have to question Denver's strategy to leave John Barry literally unguarded on both those shots. 38-37.
It's one of those deals, if they want to keep doing it, you know that JB is going to make a lot of them.
And look at that defense, because John Barry was able to knock the ball away from LaFrenz, but it is off Sacramento. 5 to shoot. 5 on the 24 for the Denver Nuggets. And there's Pollard blocking the shot, and the Kings come out 3 on 2. Barry sets up Hito from downtown. Yes! And there's Sacramento's first lead of this ball game. Hito Turkoglu. And with 6:50 left, Sacramento leads it 39-38.
Well, when you got to get some 3 shooting, I guess go to the bench. Both John Barry, Hito Turkoglu come in and knock down their 3s. Certainly been an interesting game. Only 2 free throw shots. And one of the reasons is because teams are shooting a lot of perimeter shots. Both.
McLeod, and they call the foul on Hito Turkoglu, who looks at the official and said, I didn't touch him. So with 6:33 left, there will be free throws upcoming for Denver.
Well, Hito Turkoglu kind of getting into Doug Christie mode, fouled and raised his hand.
Yeah.
So it's but Hito really enjoys playing. You know, he's really one of those guys. You enjoy watching him play, but one of the reasons you enjoy it because he enjoys playing.
Well, due to changing weather conditions, the Kings entertainment team will not be performing this Saturday at the Bel Air in Gold River as previously scheduled. And the lead goes right back to Denver at 40-39. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be interesting to see. I think that getting Kevin Willis for these Denver Nuggets is going to be a huge help down low. They're going to get that much needed muscle.
Well, yeah, they just really don't have a low post game, right? I think we can see that, but with Kevin Willis, that's what he does best. He's still got a nice low post half hook in particular, so I'm sure that's what Dan Issel was thinking.
And there's Turkoglu, and the Kings come out 2 on 2. Jackson using his foot speed. Oh, Bobby Jackson with a gorgeous switch over, and the Kings lead it 41-40.
Well, Bobby Jackson, he's going to put pressure on the defense every time, and that was a good example.
Back to the baseline, and Jackson stepped in front of the ball, knocked it out of bounds, and it forces a timeout. Well, Bobby Jackson has come in and is working both sides of the floor, and this layup right here, leaving Pack scrambling, has given the Kings the lead. Kings basketball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom. Well, coming up on the 21st, the Kings are in the Emerald City. They'll take on the Seattle Supersonics, and you can watch all the action on UPN 31 KMAX and the Kings Television Network, or listen in on the Kings Radio Network, Sports 1140 KHTK.
Emerald City, I thought that's where the Wizard of Oz could be up there. Okay.
Van Exel in the backcourt. And there's Bobby Jackson again creating fits. You know, Van Exel, Jerry, only 2 points in this first half.
Yeah, both Jason Williams, Bobby Jackson, and something we thought might happen, or at least that has so far, made it tougher on Nick Van Exel penetrating, both staying in front of him very well so far.
And Barry was out of bounds and then came back on. You know, Jerry, we just saw the graphic where the Kings only have 2 turnovers, and Rick Adelman's got to love that, even though that was the 3rd. But the point is that on the latter part of that homestand, turnovers was a real bugaboo, and they're really taking care of the ball here tonight.
Yeah, really, the Kings have been very good taking care of the ball, except the last couple of games at home,
right?
You know, and so that was kind of why it's a little bit surprising. But tonight looks like they're back on their game.
McDyess back in. Van Exel with the running left-hander. And the lead is back to Denver at 42-41.
One thing about Nick Van Exel, you just never know, because he's so explosive. He can go for 20 points in a quarter.
The friends looked like he had fouled Vlade on the shoulder. No whistle. Now the setup to the wide open Bobby Jackson.
Well, John Barry really got just a perfect shot for Bobby, not able to make it.
Van Exel. That's his best move of the night right there.
Well, now, 2 straight possessions. Nick Van Exel's been able to get to the basket.
And Bobby Jackson misses that little right hand jump hook. 3-point Denver lead. Air ball. Oh, nice outlet. Jackson straight at the friends. Climbs the ladder and no whistle. He thought he was fouled. No call. McLeod. And Barry tips it to Divac, and Jackson, who's basically, his tank is on empty right now after going up and down the court fast 3 times in a row. You can see top of the screen, he's bending down, gasping for air. Hedo, yes, he's not gasping for air. He's firing deuces. And the Kings go back on defense within 1, 44-43.
Well, with Hedo, you just see the confidence growing in this young player. It seems like every game that he gets minutes, you start seeing him he just gets better by the day.
And a whistle and a foul called on Sacramento.
And watch this little play by Hedo. Gets a little ball fake, gets Posey off his feet. Just one bounce, frees himself up, knocks it down. That's really just smart offense. And as you can see, very comfortable.
All right, Weber in along with Christie and Jason Williams. Barry, Pollard out along with Bobby Jackson. And McDyess to shoot a pair. Well, folks, the Olympics are over, but not the memories, and you'll be able to see 2 of the best women's players in the world. Talking about Ruthie Bolton-Holyfield and Yolanda Griffith leading the Monarchs into the 2001 season against the best women's basketball players on the other teams in Sacramento with a championship roster. And you can call the number right there, 916-419-WNBA. That's 419-WNBA. Call them Tuesday to place your deposit on the season tickets. Divac, yes. Lottie Divac with the right hand up.
And all set up by great penetration, Jason Williams. I mean, he had the pedal to the metal, right to the basket. That's one thing about it. If you're going to worry about Nick Van Exel penetrating, let Nick worry about you just as well.
And the Kings come up with it again. Hedo has help. Jason will tee up a 3. Yes. Jason Williams from beyond the 3-point line. And the Kings have their biggest lead at 3. 48-45. Sacramento shooting 51%. That was their second triple of the ball game.
Boy, that's a nice little fake by Jay Will. Just a fake that Doug Christie froze the defense, gave him enough time just to tee up that 3 ball.
Divac challenging McLeod, and McDyess with the left hand putback.
Well, Antonio McDyess is one of those guys, he's going to take that elevator shaft to the top. You really got to find him and get a body on him, keep him away from the iron. If he's around there, he'll out-jump everybody.
Nice pass to Christie. Leonard knocked it out of bounds, and will stay Sacramento ball when we come back. 2:26 left here in the first half. And it's Sacramento leading 48-47. Well, you see the Kings leading 48-47. Now, one thing about the Denver Nuggets, they have an impressive record, but they have been doing it with offense, not defense. Look at that, 28th in points allowed, 19th in field goal percentage allowed, 25th, 26th, 27th. I mean, that's one area that Dan Issel wants to see improvement, or they may not be in the playoff picture come April.
Absolutely, and I think that's another reason why they made the trade, getting Kevin Willis hopefully established a little more inside game offensively and defensively.
Weber, and the rebound taken by Posey. How about Posey tonight? A career high 13 rebounds already.
Well, and a lot of the reason for that is there's simply so many perimeter shots put up by the Kings, really no one else around the rebound. So Posey's getting a lot of unchallenged rebounds.
And a beautiful reverse by Leonard running the baseline. That was impressive. And the lead is back to Denver. Hey, the next time the Kings win at home, save your ticket stub. It's with a free Carl's Jr. Western Bacon Cheeseburger with a large beverage purchase. Carl's Jr., without us, some guys would starve. They foul on Denver. Hey, coming up at the half, we'll check out the Kings and the community. First half stats and highlights, and we'll hear from Kings assistant coach John Wetzel.
Well, one thing you hope the Kings do, keep going to Vlade Divac. Rafe LaFrance has not established he has any idea how to stop Vlade, and Vlade's going to find people just as he did there.
Well, a good look by Hedo, but it goes over the top to Denver. By the way, that was the second foul on the Friends. Man, what a shame that Hedo was not going to be in the rookie All-Star game, because certainly when you look at the class and when it's all said and done, he will be considered one of the top rookies, I believe, from this class.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I think it's just an oversight. It's always one of those things where some people make it that don't deserve it, and some who deserve it don't make it.
Weber now leads a 3-on-2. Christie. He looked for the big-time throwdown. And Hito had it knocked away, and he'll go to the floor, and he and Nick Van Exel will jump it up. Boy, Doug Christie thought he had a highlight dunk, but it went off the back of the iron.
Well, a lot of action there. Doug Christie missed the dunk, and then Hito looked like maybe got fouled. We'll see a look at it here. Doug Christie going at Rafe LaFrentz. I think LaFrentz gets a finger on it, which throws it off.
Alley-oop Weber, but it was read perfectly by McDyess.
And Chris wanted the ball a little higher.
Oh, man, that would have been unbelievable. McDyess. Oh, look at Vlade Divac with the rejection. Who wants it? It's a 4-on-2. Weber with the left hand. Yes, what a layup by Weber. He thought he was fouled. And the Kings go back on top by 1. End-to-end action here at the Mile High City. McDyess from the baseline. Turkoglu with the nice box out on Posey. Williams from 25.
Jay Will end to end, and if you want to stop the action, just pull up and knock it in. And that's what Jay Will said. Hey, I've had enough of this run them down. Let's put 3 on the board.
53-49. Tell the 24-second shot clock operator to take the night off.
Don't have to worry about shooting a lot of free throws.
Weber, 2 for 1 here for Sacramento, and the foul, and it's on the Friends, is it? Yes, and that will be his 3rd. That's a big play right there because LaFrentz has picked up his 3rd foul.
Now watch Doug Christie, a little behind the back pass, finds Chris Webber. Now watch him switch to the left hand. Felt like he may have got fouled, but really just by having the ability that he does, able to go to the left hand and put it up soft and get the hoop.
Only 2 free throws for Sacramento here in the first half. That is their 3rd.
Well, Chris's stroke really just doesn't look very smooth to me, either from the outside on his jump shots or at the free throw line. Really not getting a lot of smooth rotation on the ball.
Well, that last 10 games, he's shooting just 43% from the floor. And you see the last 7 games, Jerry, he's only been to the line 27 times.
Well, you know, it's one of those things he has been probably settling for the jump shot a little more, and of course not making his free throws.
Christie creating some havoc in the backcourt. So 2 misses for Chris, and there's a differential on the clock of 2.5 seconds. Van Exel looks at a screen from McLeod. Wow, they got Jason Williams. Now, they did have a foul to give. So now 9 seconds left.
Well, obviously the Nuggets will play for the final shot here.
Christie fronting the pass from Leonard, so they had to go the other direction. Set up perfectly on a little pick and roll. 3.4 left. 2-point game. And Williams at the horn. If it goes, no. So a very exciting first half of basketball. End-to-end action. So a lot of good individual plays, including Jason Williams. 6 points. Or make it 8 points. 6 rebounds and 4 assists. And a close one here through 24 minutes. It's Sacramento leading Denver at the half. 53-51. We'll be back on Fox Sports Net. This basketball is presented by your Northern California Toyota dealers. Sacramento Kings fans, test drive a Toyota today. By Pepsi, proud to be the official soft drink for your Sacramento Kings. Experience the joy of cola. By Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. And by the Folsom Auto Mall. Experience the difference for yourself at the Folsom Auto Mall. Highway 50 between the Hazel and Folsom Boulevard exits. Or visit us online at folsomautomall.com. We welcome you back to Kings basketball on Fox Sports Net. Sacramento with the 53-51 lead at the break. Well, the Kings have been out and about in the community, and it's great to see them helping out around Sacramento and the surrounding areas. And tonight at the intermission, we thought we would show you some of the Kings in the community. And we welcome you back from that nice musical look at the Kings in the community. Hope you enjoyed that. Sacramento on top, 53-51, as you look at some of the halftime entertainment here on Fox Sports Net. (53-51). Boy, it was a crystal clear day, and they're expecting a little snow, but man, you could almost see the French Lick, Indiana today in this part of the country. It was unbelievable.
Well, wasn't that beautiful?
We look at the out-of-town scoreboard, but really, it was absolutely gorgeous here today. Temperature in the mid-50s. Philadelphia wins again. They beat Washington 86-82. Another road victory for the Sixers. Toronto, no problem with Boston. San Antonio pouring it on in Detroit in the fourth. In the fourth, a close one at Minnesota against the LA Clippers. In the third, Charlotte 49, Chicago 48, Vancouver, Seattle, Cleveland, and the LA Lakers a little bit later. We'll come back and we'll show you some first half highlights, the numbers, and we'll get you ready for the start of the third quarter as the Kings lead 53-51. Back here in Denver with Sacramento leading 53-51. Hope you're enjoying this one. Grant Napier along with Jerry Reynolds. And boy, I'll tell you, an entertaining game back and forth. And I think Rick Adelman right now has got to be fairly happy with where his team stands. This is a Denver team that's been hot. The Kings came out, I thought, defensively in the last 4 or 5 minutes of that second quarter. They rebounded better, they defended better, and that's the reason why they lead by 2.
Yeah, I think he's very pleased. Certainly they've taken care of the basketball. They've scored the ball very well. I mean, you have to be thrilled with the way Jay Will has played Nick Van Exel. The bench was outstanding. Probably the only negative, rebounding the basketball. Rebounding the basketball. That's been the only area where the Kings really have fallen short.
All right, why don't we dissect a little bit of the first 24 minutes of basketball, and we start with Chris Webber.
Well, Chris Webber, here you see just that gorgeous left-hand shot, hoping for a foul call, able to finish anyway. And there's Jay Will taking the pass from Hedo Turkoglu. Little freeze pass sets him up for the three, and Jay Will was right on target. Outstanding the entire half. Rafe LaFrentz for the Nuggets started off very hot, running the floor, able to finish in the open court. And, of course, the other star, Antonio McDyess, taking a little alley-oop. Wasn't a really good pass, but a better finish by Antonio McDyess.
And you see the numbers, Sacramento at 48%. They just 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. Rebounds, big disparity, 32-22. 10 offensive rebounds for Denver. And though the Sacramento bench with 15 points. And certainly Rick Adelman likes the production. Hedo's come in, he's played very well. John Barry had a nice stint, and so did Bobby Jackson. Why don't we revisit our Pepsi Challenge key matchup from the beginning of the ball game. Vlade Divac tonight, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and Ray LaFrentz. Now, Rafe did most of his damage in the first quarter, but still very impressive. 6 of 10 with 14 points and 3 rebounds.
Yeah, both these guys have certainly played very well, and I think really Vlade Divac is one of those guys where the Kings maybe should look to get the ball a little more, because he's been very effective when he's had it.
And LaFrentz also has 3 fouls. All right, we'll be back, and we'll get you to the start of the second half as you look at a pretty good crowd on hand here tonight to see the Kings and the Nuggets. It's presented by your Northern California Toyota dealers. Sacramento Kings fans, test drive a Toyota today. By Pepsi, proud to be the official soft drink for your Sacramento Kings. Experience the joy of cola. And by Folsom Lake Ford and Folsom Lake Toyota. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, you see them everywhere. Highway 50 at the Folsom exit under the flag. (53-51) as we're close to the start of the third quarter, and the Kings' Chris Webber with some action at one point, made 3 in a row, but ended up with 10 points, 5 rebounds.
Well, Chris, here you see knocking down that elbow jumper early. This is where he's so good, getting the ball in low with that half hook, taking another jump shot from downtown, and in the open floor saw that beautiful left-hand shot against defensive pressure, but didn't get the call. But Chris not having one of his best halves, but still a productive half.
And Sacramento with the first of 3 away from home. Tomorrow it's Houston, day off. And then Sunday, or rather Monday afternoon, it's the Dallas Mavericks. Boy, Mark Cuban got fined again, $100,000 for sitting too close to the court, I guess.
Well, you know, Mark, I think kind of feels like maybe the rules don't apply to him, but I think that Commissioner Stern and people will at some point get through to the young man that even though he owns the team, he still is part of the NBA.
Well, I know one thing, he's been writing a lot of checks to the NBA, and The NBA is going to have some very nice public service announcements and some nice charities to work with. All right, why don't we go to Jim Cosmore? He's with Kings assistant John Wetzel. Cos?
John, a very torrid pace in that first half. How are the guys holding up?
They're okay. It's, you know, we expected of them to play this kind of game, especially here at home. They're a very good running team. Offensive rebounds is the key. They've got 10, and we have 1, and that's the big difference. They're getting second shots, and they have 10 points off those, and that's kept them in the game. We take care of that end of the floor, we'll be okay.
They're shorthanded tonight. Do you think they can keep up the pace?
Well, we need to go inside consistently to Vlade and Webb and use our size advantage down low.
John, good luck in the second
Thank
half.
you.
That's John Wetzel. Guys, let's go back to you.
All right, and the reason why they're shorthanded is they made a trade today and shipping 3 players to Toronto. If you weren't with us for the start of the telecast, we'll go over that a little bit later. But Weber with 10, Peja, Williams with 8, Divac and Christie with 6, LaFrentz 14, McDyess 11, and you see Van Exel with only 6. I really think Jason Williams in particular, and Bobby always said, but I mean Jason Williams' defense, I thought in that first half of Van Exel was outstanding.
I thought it was one of the best defensive efforts I've seen from Jason. I thought his footwork was outstanding. He got his body low. He really was concentrating, you can see, on staying in front of Nick Van Exel. Now, Nick is so good, you know, he's going to do good things anyway, but Jay Will did as good a job as you can do on Nick Van Exel and was able to score and be productive on the other end as well. So an all-around just outstanding half by Jason Williams.
That trade involving the Toronto Raptors, the main ingredient, Keon Clark goes from Denver to Toronto for Kevin Willis and 2 other players. Willis expected to be in uniform here Monday night when the Nuggets entertain the Seattle Supersonics. Well, the clock didn't start, so they'll bring it up court again.
So actually that action we saw did not really occur.
Never occurred. That's right. There will not be any record of that.
Just like a time
move
warp.
up the court. Well, they've got 23 on the shot clock. Now they fix it. That's the only time the 24-second shot clock operator had to do anything.
Yeah, he kind of
And
went
he
to
did
sleep.
it
Went to sleep at the
That's
switch.
right.
You know, the first time he was actually important in this game.
All right, Van Exel in the backcourt with Leonard, McDyess, LaFrentz, and Posey up front. 6 to shoot. McDyess. And the Kings break out. And Peja never had the handle. So just like the Kings started the game with a turnover, they start the second half with a turnover. And Divac with the rebound.
Well, nice rebounding by the Kings' first 2 possessions. Only 1 and done. And Jay Will getting a lot of long rebounds himself. One thing you would like to see Jay Will do a little better is when he's in the open floor, he is so good with the ball. He's sometimes too quick to give it up.
Chris Webber now. He has 12, and the Kings lead at 55-51.
It's always good to see C. Webb get that first shot to go in the half and get that stroke.
McDyess posting. Five on the shot clock. And a nice running right-hander by James Posey.
Yeah, Posey not really known for his driving ability, but showed it there. Now here's C. Webb just getting a little step-back jumper off the nice screen by Vlade Divac, which freed him up, and C. Webb got the first one down.
Yeah, Vlade actually screened 2 players on that play. 55-53. Webber with another good look from straight on. Yes.
Well, in that time, a great look from Jay Will. Here again, Vlade going low to taking the defenders with him. So Kings getting nice ball movement, looking for one another. Good start.
57-53. We're in the third quarter. Van Exel left open from downtown. Nick Van Exel with the 3-ball, and it's a 1-point game.
Well, Nick Van Exel, like a lot of scorers in this league, a bit on the streaky side, and he's one of those guys, when he gets the first one, he can really get it going.
The give and go, and not there. A lazy pass, and Webber stops a fast break basket. That was a very good foul. It prevented an automatic basket. Webber picking up the personal is first.
Now, Jay Will, you see, just getting the ball to Chris in perfect shooting position. See, Webb just had to catch, just square up to the basket.
14 points, 5 rebounds for Chris, shooting above 50% in this one. Nuggets looking to retake the lead. LaFrentz with 7 on the 24. Rebound Webber, quick outlet, but the Nuggets get 2 on defense. Posey staying in front of Stojakovic. And Peja, no. That was a three-point attempt. Peja having trouble on his long-range jumpers tonight. He's 4 of 8 overall, but he's missed 3 from beyond the arc. Posey is having one heck of a game. He's got a career-high 13 rebounds to go along with 11 points.
And definitely challenging Peja on the other end. Drove the time before, that time he takes the jumper.
And now Nuggets looking to add on, leading 58-57. McDyess, 5 of 15, wants it back to work on Weber. And Chris with the rebound.
Chris doing a nice job on Antonio McDyess. Really, the last couple jumpers that McDyess has put up have been forced, and that's a credit to C. Webb.
Jason, a good look, and Jason Williams too strong, and Divac, yes, he's able to save. Peja will try again. Boy, that was off the mark as it left his hand. You knew it had no chance.
Well, that was even off left, not even on line.
And Van Exel high off the window. He's in double figures with 11, and the Nuggets lead at 60-57.
Well, one thing you know about Nick Van Exel, he's one of those guys that kind of plays himself into games, and most of his big games have come with exceptionally big second halves.
Yeah, when he gets hot, he's unstoppable. Jason gets around Posey. Weber and Chris looking good on that outside jumper here in the third. He's got 16. Of course, nobody on Chris Weber. That makes his life a little bit easier. It's almost like Dan Issel saying, you know what? He's struggling from the field. Let him shoot that jumper. Do not let him take you off the dribble. And they've been doing that, but Chris has been hitting the jumper. And that's a double dribble on Van Exel.
There's another good defensive sequence by Chris Weber. Now watch Nick Van Exel, a little shake and bake. Uses that strong left hand off the glass. Just a very tough shot, actually. But Nick Van Exel can make tough shots.
Divac got by LaFrance. Jason Williams with 8 assists, and the Kings lead 61-60.
Boy, just excellent eye contact. Jason Williams, Vlade Divac really in gear with one another. Vlade just cuts to the hoop, gets the ball.
Boy, a fast-moving game, not a lot of fouls, and LaFrance almost walked. Second chance opportunity, third chance. McDyess sets up Leonard. Well, there you go, Jerry. 3 chances results in a 3-point basket.
Well, really, I don't think there's any question of what the main thing is keeping this Kings team from being one of the premier teams in the league for sure. It's just simply rebounding the ball.
Weber, no. Weber, he'll try again. He's bumped. No foul, called foul. He was clearly fouled. You got to be kidding me. How on earth did they miss that? And you know what? That's a well-deserved technical. That's just bad officiating right there. That is horrible. David Jones is out there. What are you looking at? Chris Weber was demolished underneath the glass.
Yeah, Chris just can't believe it. Certainly, I think the last shot he put up, he was just expecting the foul. There's a foul on Rafe LaFrance, just no call. Here's another look at it as the ball comes off. Here's C. Webb gets the ball, gets possession. Now here he draws the contact. Right there's the contact. No call. Chris Weber very upset. Main thing he's got to do now is get his composure back. It's not going to change anything. Certainly they missed it. He should have been on the line. He wasn't, but that's passed.
64-61. McDyess, no. Divac met him right there, and it's out of bounds. The Denver ball, 6:02 left, third quarter. Stop by McDonald's today for your choice of 2 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches or 2 Big Macs for only $2.22. Only $2.22 because at McDonald's we love to see you smile. That stat right there is the difference in this basketball game right now. Leonard, and it's 66-61.
Well, the scary thing there is not that stat 13-0 second chance points are now 15, but really comes down to Denver is one of the weaker rebounding teams in the NBA, so that's a real concern.
And a foul called. Christie will go to the line when we come back. 5 minutes and 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Nuggets leading this one 66-61. 66-61 here in the third. We check in with Jim Kozimor.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what. I'm doing my part because there are only a few more days left to vote for the All-Star teams, and we want to see as many Kings as possible. Now, everywhere you go, and we always run into Kings fans here, and I got a few helping me out filling out ballots. Now, who you voting for?
Chris and Vladdy.
All right, Chris and Vladdy down. How about you? Who you voting for?
Jason and Peja.
There you go. Those are the 4 Kings to vote for on the ballot. You only have a few days. Now, if you don't have the hard ballots, you can do it at kings.com and make sure you vote for those Kings. Look at how close Sacramento Kings players are to making it as starters in the West, especially Chris Webber. He's third, just 10,000 votes away from the second place guy. How great would it be to see Chris Webber as a starter going back to Washington, D.C., where he once played? Let's get those Kings on the All-Star starters team. Grant and Jerry, a couple of All-Stars. We'll go back to you.
Well, I'll tell you, Chris Webber is no question an All-Star. And with the year he's having, he deserves to start. It's up to the fans to put him there. It's very close. You have until Sunday, as Coach pointed out. Just get on the computer, sackkings.com, and Jason Williams, 8 points, 8 assists, and more importantly, no turnovers.
Yeah, especially with a game, the pace that's being played and no turnovers. Kings doing it here again. Outstanding job on every phase. I know I'm wearing this out, but rebounding the basketball. If we see the Kings start doing a better job on the boards, they'll win the game.
Doug Christie, 66-63, an outstanding free throw shooter is Christie, 84%, and he knocks both of them down. Five and a half left third quarter. LaFrentz, after a very impressive first quarter, has been quiet. And Williams off the steal. Numbers 3 on 2. Nice setup to Peja. Oh man, it was out of bounds. Those are your unforced turnovers that you just go crazy if you're Rick Adelman.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as a coach, I don't know what you say about that. You've got an absolutely gorgeous chance to score the ball and you don't even get a shot.
So the lead is still 3. Ten on the 24. You can see Webber doing a heck of a job preventing LaFrentz from getting the ball. Too good of a job, says Joe DeRosa. And Chris Webber just picks up his second foul. Second team foul on Sacramento. So the Nuggets inbound, leading 66-63. And a long ball, no. Webber, rebound, stepped in front of McDyess. Peja gets around one. And a foul from behind. He'll go to the free throw stripe. Ray LaFrentz, Jerry, has just picked up his 4th foul, and he'll have to come out in all likelihood.
Yeah, that definitely is a blow for this team. Certainly with as thin as they are on the front line now, they get much smaller. Mark Strickland, very athletic player, but not the same level of talent.
Well, they got new merchandise coming into the store, it seems like every day. Just get to Arc Arena Monday through Friday, 11 to 6, and check out that great Kings merchandise. Minnesota held on to beat the Clippers 95-89. And Jerry, it's a 1-point game with 4:47 left in the third. Quiet bench at the moment, and they don't have a lot of depth because 3 of their players traded earlier today. Particularly Keon Clark, he would have been seeing a lot of action. Strickland.
Well, that's always what worries you. A guy who doesn't normally get to play a lot knows it's a chance to really shine, and certainly Mark Strickland's doing that and has played well.
What about on the other side of the ball, though? You would think Vlade Divac here can go to work.
Absolutely. Of course, Kings got to go to him. Looks like they're trying to create the situation where that is a double team.
Christie, yes, he hits a 3, and the Kings have tied it at 68. Doug Christie from downtown, he has 11.
And that's all set up because Vlade Divac, they have to double him. Vlade will always move the ball, always find the open man.
Boy, look at that offensive rebound by Posey. And you know what? Again, it results in 3 points. You cannot win giving up second and third chance opportunities.
No, you simply can't. You absolutely cannot.
Look at that. 18 zip. 71-68. Again, they look for Divac against Strickland.
There's the double team. There's Vlade finding the open man.
Boy, if the Kings can start hitting their shots here, and Webber with the putback, they will be able to regain the lead. as you pointed out, Jerry, you can see the strategy, and that was a skip pass, and then another pass set up a wide open three.
Yeah, they got a double Vlade, and when they do that, not only do you get open shots, but you get defensive players rotating, which means nobody checks out. That's why Chris Webber's able to get the tip in.
5 to shoot. And Christie with a bump foul. And honestly, don't you just go to that until Denver makes a change every time down the floor?
Well, I think you do, and I think that's what you'll see. And, you know, within reason, I think they'll be looking for Vlade because, number one, they're going to continue to double him. And Vlade is so unselfish. As soon as he sees the double team coming, he moves the basketball, and that sets all the rotations up. And with good ball movement, you're always going to get open shots.
Nuggets by 1, 10 on the shot clock. McDyess with an elbow up high on Divac. So we'll go back to Sacramento, and they'll have a chance to take the lead. Timeout on the floor. 2 minutes and 57 seconds left. We're in the third quarter. McDyess with his first personal. And when we come back, the Kings will be looking to regain the lead. The Sacramento Kings official Auto Mall partner is the Folsom Auto Mall. They experienced the difference today at the Folsom Auto Mall.
Well, watch see Webb all around the basketball here. Nice follow shot. You saw the good movement by the Kings, and see Webb's there to get the follow, but he was having a big quarter.
And tonight's In the Zone is brought to you by AutoZone. The right part, the right price, and good advice. 8.6 boards here in the third, and the Kings with a chance to take the lead. Webber, good defense by McDyess. Jason from the baseline, no. And it's saved by Leonard. Jason Williams only 3 of 10 from the floor in this basketball game after coming off a season-high 24 points against Cleveland. Strickland, a fadeaway on Webber. You're right, you don't expect that from Strickland.
Certainly, Mark Strickland's one of those guys that played some in Miami, but you just don't expect those kind of shots. Very well defended by Chris Webber that time, but Strickland makes it.
This time Van Exel came over to double instead of Leonard, and Christie looking to tie the game, can't do it. Out of bounds, no, it's saved by Van Exel. 2 minutes left. Both these teams normally win when they lead going into the fourth quarter. McDyess, no, and Webber flips to Jason Williams, 73-70.
Jason Williams, nice move to the hoop, not able to finish.
Van Exel, no. And that time, Vlade screened off Strickland, and it allowed Jason Williams and the Kings to come right back. 1:20 left here in the third. Jason Williams looks for the foul, doesn't get it. Ball went from beyond the backboard over, and that's a violation, so it goes to Denver. Pollard, Berry, and Turkoglu will come in. Look at that shooting in the quarter. Denver at 45%, Sacramento 35%. Denver, go ahead.
Yeah, neither team, not just shooting poorly, but they've really both teams have had a lot of good shots, so it's a little bit surprising.
Denver 13-3 when they lead after 3.
Sean Leonard's really been a key to this team getting in the starting lineup.
And Berry fouled hard. He'll go to the line with 53 seconds left, trying to make it a 3-point game.
And watch for Sean Leonard on this play. Just takes the ball baseline. Tough shot, maybe even got fouled, but able to finish the play. But Sean Leonard came over from Miami and was able to beat out Tariq Abdul-Wahed after they signed Wahed to a huge contract. And really, since that time, has made this Nugget team has clearly gotten better.
Well, you look at that graphic, that's one of the reasons why this is such a fast-moving game. Bobby Jackson in, as we mentioned, Jason Williams on the bench, 75-71. Sacramento this year, 3 wins and 7 losses when they trail after 3 quarters of play, and they're down 4 right here. McDyess, boy, he is having a tough night. He's just 5 of 19.
Yeah, he's taken some tough shots, but that one really wasn't. He got the position he wanted on the floor. I think he maybe felt Chris was closer than he was.
From 20, Webber no, and a rebound Strickland. And the Nuggets look like they'll take the lead into the fourth quarter. The question is, by how many? Differential of about a second and a half. Kings do have a foul to give. Still have that foul to give. And that's a big shot by LaShawn Leonard from 3. And that will do it. This third quarter is over. And the Denver Nuggets will take a 7-point lead into the final 12 minutes. 78-71. We'll be back here on Fox Sports Net. Nightly at 10 and 12, it's the all-new National Sports Report, the show that gives you a complete wrap-up of all the day's sports news with internet interaction, scores and highlights, opinions and analysis. The National Sports Report, nightly at 10 and 12, only on Fox Sports Net. Well, low-scoring third quarter. Kings had a 2-point lead at intermission, but they gave it back. They will start with the basketball, trailing 78-71. LaShawn Leonard has hit some big shots. He's got 22, including 5 of 7 in that third quarter.
Yeah, one of those new breed off guards that's very small but strong. LaShawn Leonard very viable tonight for this team.
Jackson, Berry, Turkoglu, Weber, and Pollard. LaFrentz back in, playing with 4 fouls. And they've got a foul on Turkoglu. Or was it a 3? It was a 3-second call, Jerry. He had his foot in the lane. So the Kings turn it over.
Well, Kings in that third quarter, even though they only scored 18 points, just had absolutely good shots almost every possession.
Van Exel wants to work on Jackson. 5 on the shot clock.
Bobby Jackson played him about as well as he can be played. That was a very difficult turnaround jump shot. Bobby had his hands in his face.
Biggest lead of the game for Denver.
Kings need a basket this trip.
And the Friends with the rebound. Van Exel may have gotten away with the travel. Strictly. And look at him, and may need an early timeout here. 82-71.
Oh, Mark Strickland's come in the game, and I think he's a candidate for NBA All-Stars because he is putting up some shots. They're all going in.
Biggest lead of the game. Pollard against LaFrentz. Aggressive move as he goes against his former teammate at Kansas, Rafe LaFrentz.
Well, LaFrentz in a little bit of foul trouble, but also I think Rafe LaFrentz knows Scott Pollard and really didn't want any part of him in a situation like that.
82-73. Strickland, well, he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, he's got something to say to the bench because he is definitely feeling confidence in his outside game.
84-73. Jackson finds Pollard again. Blocked by LaFrentz. Van Exel. Pollard had it knocked away by LaFrentz right into the hands of Turkoglu. Tough baseline shot. Hedo with a nice looking jumper. He has 6.
Yeah, Hedo playing very confidently. You knew the shot clock running down, had to get something up, and was able to get a good shot up.
Good production from the bench, but it's been second chance points by Denver. That's the difference in this game right now. There's the rejection by McLeod, and now it's poked out of bounds with 9 on the shot clock.
Well, cheers to Bobby Jackson. A little give off to Scott Pollard. There's Rafe LaFrentz right at the top. Meets Scott Pollard. Clean blocks.
Referee went over to Strickland and said, "Tuck your shirt in, young man. This is the NBA." Leonard, no. And the Kings with 4 black jerseys underneath for that rebound.
And that's a beautiful sight to see. Black jerseys going after the ball on the boards.
Berry gets by Van Exel. Jackson. Pollard's not going to be blocked that time, and he'll have to earn it from the free throw line. Antonio McDyess will check back in. And that's 5 fouls on Rafe LaFrentz. And they're going to call a delay of game, I think, on Denver, or is it a technical?
Technical foul.
Well, John Barry will go to the line. Kings can make a 3-point play here if Pollard hits his free throws. 84-76. Van Exel with the technical.
Really amazing when you think about it. Rafe LaFrentz, Scott Pollard, Paul Pierce, all on the same college front line.
Wow.
And
was Jacques Vaughn in the backcourt on that team?
Jacques Vaughn was one guard on that same team. Jared House from South Lake Tahoe was the other guard.
Not a bad college roster.
Of course, they ranked #1 all year.
But they weren't ranked #1 at the end of the year.
No, they weren't.
Well, folks, go check out the WNBA this summer and see Ruthie and Yo Griffith and the rest of the Monarchs. Call Tuesday, 916-419-WNBA to place your deposit on those Sacramento Monarchs season tickets.
Well, Kings really got a chance to get back in this game. Scott Pollard couldn't make that one.
And there's a loose ball foul, and it's on Denver. What? They're calling it on Tokolu. Wow. And Rick Adelman up in front of us said, "You got to be kidding me." Well, hey, it's on Hito, and it will go back to Denver. I thought that foul was called on the Nuggets, but the official, David Jones, said nope.
Certainly didn't see a foul there. It looked like just a loose ball. Hito just trying to tap it, but officials saw it differently.
7-point game. Kings have cut 4 off the lead. Now they need some stops on defense. The one thing about Sacramento, as of late, they have had tremendous fourth-quarter defense. McDyess, 5 of 19 for the game. 4 to shoot. Van Exel. And it's Barry with the rebound. Yes.
Boy, John Barry just absolutely great instincts to get the long rebound, full tilt, takes it right to the elbow, knocks it in. That's just an excellent play.
Good illustration of what happens when you get the rebound.
Just amazing what good things can occur when you actually get the caroms.
McDyess, boy, he just can't buy a basket.
Yeah, really right now Antonio McDyess should quit shooting and give the ball to Mark Strickland, but maybe for the Kings that can help get him back in the game.
Hito with the running right hand scoop to the hoop, and the Kings all over the glass. And just like that, it's a 3-point game, and Dan Issel needs to talk it over. The Kings have scored 8 straight, and they are right back in it. 84-81 here on Fox Sports Net. 84-81 here in the fourth. Let's check in with Jim Kozimore. Coz?
Guys, there's no question that the marquee matchup in this ball game tonight was at the 4 spot. The 2 power forwards probably were playing the best at the 4 spot in the entire National Basketball Association. Let's take a look at how Antonio McDyess and Chris Webber are performing right now. Chris Webber having another nice night, double-double. McDyess has his 27th double-double of the season, but his numbers are not great at 5 of 20 shooting. In fact, in the last 6 ball games for McDyess, he's been averaging almost 31 points per ball game. But Chris Webber, Scott Pollard, and the rest of that Sacramento Kings defense has really limited Antonio McDyess tonight. Grant and Jerry, back to you guys.
Yeah, McDyess 0 of 6 here in the second half. And the Kings bench has scored all the 10 points in this fourth quarter.
Now, really, McDyess has kind of helped keep the Kings in the game because he has taken some tough shots. Certainly, Strickland, Leonard, Van Exel have been very effective.
And Pollard fouling McDyess. Oh, man, they're calling 2 shots and the ball. I mean, it's a hard foul, but he went for the ball, didn't he? Here's another look.
Here's another look. Now, here's McDyess fumbles it. That's one of the reasons that maybe created as much contact as there was. He didn't catch it clean. Scott Pollard already left his feet. He looked at strictly going for the basketball. Gee whiz, he was right up there. His arms were straight up in the air. The ball came into him, and really all the contact was caused because McDyess handled the ball poorly. He fumbled it. Had he caught it cleanly, the contact wouldn't even occur.
No, it would have been an easy basket, and the Kings would be on defense right now.
Yeah, you see, Scott Pollard was committed. He had left his feet based on the fact he expected McDyess to catch the ball cleanly and go straight up.
That's a horrible call. 86-81, and now Denver will get the ball back.
Well, that was just an aggressive play by Scott Pollard. Clearly, his arms were straight up in the air. Under no circumstances did he crash down on McDyess. McDyess crashed into him.
4 to shoot, off balance. And the Kings again, Jerry, using good defense in the fourth quarter. It's been the reason why they have played so well as of late. They have really shut down opponents in the fourth. Weber. That time McDyess altered the shot a little bit, and it stays 86-81. Down to 7 minutes and 10 seconds left. Strickland has been big here in the second half. Not that time.
Yeah, Mark Strickland finally coming back to earth a little bit.
Berry with a 3. No. And the rebound, Strickland. Good look by JB, but it was not there. Berry, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Rebounding getting a little bit closer at 48-42. Strickland, short. Jackson, what a nice pass to Berry. He has help if he needs it. That's really hurt you. Missing a 3-on-1, and in transition, Exel. No, that's a big swing in this basketball game.
Well, it really was. You got to take the ball to the basket. John Berry made a big mistake on that play.
Yes, he did. Big mistake. 88-81, a 4-point swing. We'll be back with 6:25 left here on Fox Sports Men. (88-81), 6:25 left in the fourth. Here's our Folsom Lake Toyota keys to crunch time, Jerry.
Well, you just got to limit the second chance points. Try to get the ball to C-Webb in low as much as possible, and you got to continue that good defense in the fourth quarter.
That's Folsom Lake Toyota, Highway 50 at the Folsom exit under the flag. Weber has 20, 88-83. Kings putting a little pressure in the backcourt. It's Posey, Strickland, McLeod, McDyess, and Van Exel. Jackson guarding Van Exel. And it's 90-83.
Well, nice move by Nick Van Exel. Here again, Bobby Jackson played it pretty well. That's just a tough shot.
Berry, side pop. And it comes right back to JB. He'll tee up a pass to Weber. He's fouled and he'll go to the line for 2. So John Berry that time put it right on the money for Weber. And he'll go to the line where tonight he has missed both of his free throws.
Well, watch Nick Van Exel backing down on Bobby Jackson and step back. Just gets the ball up over the top. Creates that space with a little step away. But a very dangerous little player. I mean, even though he's small, he can go inside and post up.
And Chris rolls it home. 90-84, 21 for Chris Weber. (90-85).
The thing about it, Kings hanging right there. Definitely rebounding is picked up. The defense is picked up.
They want to go to McDyess, but Weber is fronting, and now an offensive foul on McDyess. McDyess has just picked up his second, and he's not happy with the call.
Not very happy, but Chris Weber has really did an outstanding job just taking the position away from McDyess, and then McDyess, since he can't get where he wants, has to resort. There you go. That's the word. Resort. Something works.
Christie. Ball never had a chance. Christie just in off the bench, been sitting a while, and that ball was way short. (90-85). Jason Williams will check in at the next whistle. Van Exel doing his thing here late in the fourth.
Well, that's what he does. I mean, as the game goes, he usually gets better, and that's what we've seen tonight.
92-85. Stojakovic out there with Pollard and Weber. Jackson and Christie the backcourt. Christie. And Strickland with the rebound. Numbers the other way if they hurry. Van Exel stolen by Christie. And look at this. In the hands of McLeod, but what effort by Christie. But the Kings got caught slipping underneath the basket. 4:11 left. That was a big sequence in this basketball game. Timeout. 94-85. Denver on Fox Sports Net. Denver. We look at the game summary. It's presented by Kronos Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. You can go all the way down to the third line. Second chance points, 20-5 Denver. That right there is the ball game.
That certainly is, and that's rebound. Now watch Doug Christie on the hustle here. Great effort, throws the ball back. Kings not able to get it. Might even been a push off on the Nuggets there. They got by with it. Mark Strickland kind of snuck in between two Kings.
And Weber's foul by McDyess. He'll go to the line for 2. Third foul on McDyess. Third team foul on Denver with 3:59 left here in the fourth.
I think one thing that sometimes people forget is when you talk about rebounding, talk about one team getting a lot of offensive rebounds. Well, the other part of that, and that's the most important part, is if you get the defensive rebounds, they can't get an offensive rebound. And that's really where the Kings' problems have strictly been denied in much of the year. Defensive rebound.
Chris has 24. He's made 4 straight free throws.
Plenty of time. 4 minutes, 7 points. Comes down to stops and rebounds.
Now the Kings know they can do it. They did it several times on the homestand. The only difference is they don't have the best crowd in the NBA behind them tonight. And what a difference here in Denver. Everybody's sitting down. Out of bounds with 7 on the shot clock.
Good effort, Jay Will.
7 seconds on the shot clock.
7 to shoot. McDyess. And a foul. Chris Webber. Non-shooting. Third team foul. Third foul on Webber.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
3:41 left. McLeod tees up a 3. Big shot right there. 10-point game. Well, that's what he does best.
Well, he is has been one of the premier spot shooters in this league for a long time. You see why.
Ito against Strickland. Fouled. And with 3:17 left here in the fourth. A non-shooting foul, they say. That was the 14th foul. It looked to me like Ito was going up in a shooting motion.
Yeah, Rick Battleman wants to know just if Ito wasn't shooting in that situation, what was he doing? He certainly he was in a shooting motion. I'm with the coach on that one.
Peja off the mark from 3. Peja just has not been able to find the range from beyond the arc tonight. He's 4 of 11 overall, and he's missed all 4 of his 3-point opportunities. Turkoglu stole it. Webber picks it up. Kings with numbers. Christie has McLeod to beat. And yes, he'll go to the line looking for the 3-point play. Doug Christie with 2:59 left has a chance to make it a 7-point game.
Big play here. You see Doug Christie going right at the defense, draws the foul. Here's the whistle. Goes ahead and puts it up under with a little bit of a soft touch. Gets the basket. Got a chance for a 3-pointer. Get the Kings back to 7 with 3 minutes to go.
Christie with 13. It's 4 of 12 floor. 5 of 5 from the line. He now puts the Kings within 7. McDyess, just 6 of 21. And it's stolen. So the Kings get the stop on defense. Can they convert?
Yeah, that's a good defensive effort by Doug Christie. Just held his position.
And it's kicked. They'll inbound from the side with 2:35 left.
Kings really need this one. That not only just put points on the board, but put some pressure on this Nuggets team. When you're at home and the game gets tight, more pressure on the home team.
10 on the shot clock. Christie posting. And the friend swats it away. 5 to shoot. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's Doug Christie going at the basket. There's the block.
Peja from 3. Nope.
Peja just hasn't been able to get anything to drop. And that would have been a big one.
Now the Kings have to hope for another stop. Look at that. Just 4 of 21 are the Kings from 3-point country tonight. 8 to shoot. Peja's missed all 7. And the Kings again, Jerry, playing very well defensively. 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Jason Williams battling Rachel Friends down there. I mean, he was playing big. Got a little help from Chris Webber at the end.
22nd timeout called by the Denver Nuggets. And again, just 4 seconds left on the shot clock. 97-90. Yeah, you're right, boy. That would have put a lot of pressure on this Denver team. Had Peja been able to hit the 3, but it was a little bit too strong. Well, each of the last 9 games have been decided by 5 points or less. And 6 overtime games. That's the most played in the NBA.
Well, you know the Kings certainly are, like I say, are used to playing close games. You just hope this one gets a little bit closer, maybe more experienced than anyone. But those 3-pointers, 4 of 21, the thing has to be said, I think, is that probably out of those 21 3-point shots, probably 18 have been really good looks. I mean, you just couldn't ask for better shots and by better shooters, but not going in.
Oh, that's wide open. Yep. That should not happen, and that could very much be the ball game. 3-point basket wide open with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Somebody got caught napping. And Williams answers right back to make it a 7-point game with 1:50 left. The question is it too little too late for Sacramento?
Well, you have to get stops now. You can't allow the Nuggets to score any more points. They may have enough anyway, but you certainly can't allow any more the remainder of the game.
Van Exel now being defended by Christie. 8 to shoot. Van Exel, a 3, air ball. Webber saves to Peja. Christie, a 2-on-1 developing. He stops, fires, and nope. Kings just not making the shots tonight, Jerry, and that's the story of this game along with second chance points.
No, you're exactly right. I've had a lot of good opportunities.
I mean, Christie 4 of 14, Williams 4 of 12, Stojakovic 4 of 12, 7 of 20 in a quarter, Jackson 2 of 7, Van Exel, and it's a 9-point game. Well, does not look like the Kings are going to start the trip with a victory tonight. The Denver Nuggets beat the Kings twice here last year. They're on their way to another one. 60 seconds of basketball left. 102-93 Denver. On the field, they're invincible, but off the field, they're all too human. Fox Sports takes a look at the athletes you thought you knew. Isaiah Thomas grew up on the mean streets and developed the fury that you ever saw. Find out the Isaiah Thomas you never knew as Beyond the Glory takes you inside the hidden world of sports' biggest stars. Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8, only on Fox Sports Net.
See a good look at Nick Van Exel getting really an open look from the corner. Now going a little one-on-one against Hedo Turkoglu. And as we've seen so many times, Nick the Quick just gets it going when it counts.
And McDyess with the Webber miss. And a foul. It's the 4th team foul.
Well, Martin Strickland has really come in his game. Not only scored points, but been very active defensively.
Van Exel, 23 points. 11 here in the 4th.
Yeah, Nick's one of those veteran point guards, certainly knows he can do a little bit of everything and just bides his time till it's really needed most.
Well, the Kings shooting 41% for the game, and the thing, though, that is frustrating, and that's going to happen in the NBA, is that a lot of their shots tonight were not contested. They just did not shoot the ball well, and that happens sometimes in this league.
Yeah, I would say that Rick Adelman would have to feel good overall about the kind of shots his team got. I think they probably had easier field goal attempts tonight than about any of the games we've seen in the recent homestand, but didn't make them. And had they made them, the rebounding wouldn't have been as big a factor, but when you don't make them, then you really got to rebound.
Jabari Smith making his NBA debut. Just activated as Lawrence Funderburg injured his knee in practice the other day. Kings' second-round pick out of LSU.
That's good to see the young man get a chance to play.
104-93. Martin in there as well. And Smith a little bit short.
Well, Jabari Smith showing right away, wants to face up, shows you a little off the dribble move.
And for the first time tonight, they're on their feet here in Denver. And the Nuggets are going to hand the Kings a loss. And 2 more games on this road trip. 4 to shoot. Van Exel layup, nope. Posey took it right away from Smith. So Denver is going to go to 21 and 16. Sacramento is going to go to 23 and 10.
Jabari Smith forgot you still got to play just because the shot clock goes off.
So the Denver Nuggets with a big second half doing the Kings. Final score here tonight. Nuggets 106 and the Kings 93. A game that was a lot closer than that final score would indicate, but a loss is a loss. And now the Kings really with a tough test tomorrow against the Houston Rockets.
Stand back, miss. We'll save the dog.
Who are you guys?
We're Sacramento Kings fans. Section 110.
That's a good boy.
The most powerful fans on earth. Did you know that by following a few simple directions, your insurance could cost a lot less?
In Sacramento, see Allstate agent John Hansen. In Galt, see Robin Zarnak. And in Carmichael, see Allstate agent Keith Adachi.
Tonight's game on Fox Sports Net was presented by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom. By Folsom Lake Ford and Folsom Lake Toyota. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, you see them everywhere. Highway 50 at the Folsom exit under the flag. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. And by Allstate Insurance Company. You're in good hands.